So we will start off by adding 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, two and 3/4 cups of bread flour, 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast or 1 package, 1/4 cup of water, 1 egg, 7/8 cup of milk, and 1/4 cup of butter or 4 tablespoons. So here I'm using the bread maker and I will need to set it at the dough pasta setting. Make sure to try to get the edges of the dough in the basket of the bread maker to try to incorporate it back into the dough ball. So this is what the dough will start to look like once it's still kneading in the bread maker. So now we'll be making the filling for the cinnamon rolls. We'll need 2/3 cup of brown sugar and 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, so we'll need to mix this all up, breaking up all the lumps and mixing it very well. So now it's time to take the dough out. Here's what it looks like after an hour and a half of rising. Sprinkle a thin layer of flour to your working surface and spread it out evenly. Leave a little flour on your rolling pin to keep the dough from sticking to it. Lay the dough on the flour that's on the counter there. Make sure you get the paddle that's inside. We don't want that inside the dough. And kind of scrape and get the rest of the dough that's in there and incorporate it back into the dough on the counter. So we're just going to roll it out. Try to make like a rectangular shape if you can. It's going to want to pull, so kind of be patient when you're rolling it out. So let me show you what it will end up looking like once you roll it out. If you can get it more into a rectangular shape, that would be better. So now we'll go ahead and put there's 3 tablespoons of softened butter here, and we're going to spread it all over evenly on the dough. You can leave about a 1/2 inch all the way around without dough on it. It's up to you. Try to get it really well, spreading it evenly. So now let's take our filling mixture with cinnamon and brown sugar mixed in. We're going to spread it evenly all over the dough here. Use as much or little as you like. I just took a spoon and was just the back of a spoon and was spreading it around, trying to fill in all the empty spots in there. Start rolling the short side of the dough. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the ends off that are uneven. So to get even size rolls, I'm going to score the middle of the dough with a knife. From that middle score to the end of the roll, score another midsection and then go to the other side of the other midsection and score it again. Keep doing this until all sections have equal sized rolls. So I'm going to use a piece of floss to make a clean cut through the dough, as you can see here, by using the score marks as my guide. So I have a 9 by 13 inch pan here that I have greased with butter. So here you can see the rolls I have placed here in the pan so that they can rise. And I had a little extra, so I put them in this round pan here. So what I have done next is I boiled some water on the stove and I placed it inside the oven at the bottom, and I've got the rolls sitting on top covered with a towel, and I closed the oven door and I had it rise for about an hour and a half. For the cream cheese frosting, you'll need a package of cream cheese that's been softened, a 1/4 cup stick of butter softened, two teaspoons of milk, one teaspoon of vanilla, and go ahead and whip that up until it's really smooth. Now we'll add 1.5 to 2 cups of powdered sugar, a little bit at a time here, and whip that up until it's really smooth. Here you can see how the frosting looks. If it's too thick, you can add a little bit more milk, which is what I think I'm going to do now here. I want a little bit thinner, so I'm just add a little bit more milk to it and just stir it up with a spoon. A lot of people use that type of frosting for carrot cakes. That would be a good recipe for carrot cakes. If you want to keep it that thick for a cake, that's good too. But I wanted it a little bit thinner for the rolls, so this looks about right to me. If you wanted a little bit more runnier, you can add a little bit more milk too. It's been an hour and a half now and the rolls are done rising, and this is what they look like. I want to give you some close-ups of them. So now you want to set your temperature to 375. So they'll cook for about 15 minutes. So I let them go for a little bit longer than 15 minutes, and it's got golden brown here. I'm giving you another close-up so you can see how good they look. So I'm going to start adding the frosting.